with me now, the AFC Wimbledon manager, Johnnie Jackson. Johnny, let's get straight down to it. 3 new signings. What are the chances of them being involved in our matchday squad tomorrow?
Really good chance, I'd say. All 3 boys have settled in well. Obviously, Ali and Al-Hamadi only joined the group yesterday, getting them signings over the line. So they've had 1 session with us, but obviously Sam's been here a good while now, a good week with us, and got some minutes in midweek against Barnet. So they all come into my thinking, whether that's from the start or from the bench as impact. We'll have to look at that closely, but yeah, all 3 will be involved in the matchday squad.
Seem to have slotted in well, kind of really reinvigorated things around here.
Yeah, I think it's always important, especially with the outgoings that we had, losing 3 bodies in Kyle, Riley and Paris, important players for us and very much part of the squad. So when you see players going out, I think it's important that you get some fresh faces as well, and we've done that in Sam at the back end of last week, and getting 2 in yesterday is great. And there's a real sort of vibrancy this morning around the place. Lads, they always make the new boys feel welcome, and straight away they've seen what the group's all about, and how we're a real tight-knit group here. So I think they enjoyed their first experiences of it, and obviously it's good for the rest of the boys to see a little bit of freshness as well.
Had the chance to meet Craig Cope for the first time yesterday. Looks to be a very good addition off the pitch as well. Yeah,
important role. Obviously something that the club have been looking to fill for a long while now. So we've known about Craig coming in for a while, but of course he's in place now, fully part of the team now, and helping out behind the scenes with a lot of the infrastructure here at the training ground, and obviously got a big role to play in recruitment along with Jamie in this window, and then going forward with myself and the guys who be playing a big role in that. So great to have him on board, and again another one that's fitted straight in, and we always do our best to welcome new members of staff as well as a tight-knit staff group.
So the Dons fans will be really excited to see these new 3 signings in action eventually. What's the remaining strategy for the window? Would you be looking at any experience at all, perhaps?
Listen, we're going to keep a close look on it. Obviously, I'm looking to do a couple more bits if possible. Obviously, all within our means, within our budgets, and we have to be clever with the recruiting that we do. But I was looking to add a couple anyway, to be honest, before we lost those 3 guys. So we've lost 3, we brought 3 in, so we're sort of back to where we was, if you like. Still got my eye on a couple of positions that I would like. I just think just to give us that more strength in depth. When we are making changes, when we are looking to impact it from the substitute bench, then we've got those guys that can come on and really make a difference. Or when you have got injuries and suspensions, which we're going to get in the second half of the season, of course, that we've got people ready to go in and do the job just as well as the ones that they're replacing.
You mentioned the Barnet game behind closed doors, of course. What positives kind of came from that? Because we saw Paul Lossu out on the training pitch today.
Yeah, a lot. That's the reason we put the game in, that bounce game, because we felt like there were some boys that needed some game time. We've been on a good run, and because of that, I've been picking quite a settled team, which means that the flip of that is some lads that are on the bench and might not be getting on, that they find themselves they've gone a while without a game. So I thought it was a good little window there to get some important minutes in the legs of guys like Alfie Bendel and people like that have been in and around the squad, Paul Lossu, but haven't had exposure to first team minutes really. So those 2 guys are a good example. Obviously we have Will Nightingale coming back from a long layoff. That was his first exposure to a game scenario, so it was good for him to get 45 minutes. And Zach Robinson, who obviously we recalled on loan, hadn't played in 5-6 weeks up there because of injury and illness in Scotland. So again, he needed to get some minutes, and obviously we had a few lads that we had in training with us that we wanted to look at in a match situation as well.
On the subject of players coming back out there in training today as well, Alex Woodyard, how is he?
Yeah, fine. Woody obviously was come out of the previous game that he played with a bit of a tight hamstring. Just felt we didn't want to take any risks with him up at Crewe. It was just giving him too much bother that week really. So it's a big blow for us on the back of the guys that were missing, that got recalled from their loans. On top of losing your captain as well. We went into that feeling quite depleted. So to have the new faces and to have Woody back out on the training pitch today gave us a real sort of energy and really bolstered the group. It looked like a real, a lot of numbers out there and a real strong group. So it was good that he got through training. Obviously we'll make a call on him as far as selection tomorrow, but good to have him back involved.
But also, of course, as well, last week, great to see Alex Pearce out there. I mean, the experience that he brings and getting through 90 minutes, that's a tremendous boost as well, isn't it?
Yeah, he done great, and I thought, to get through tonight, he done great, but just the way he performed as well, and to come in, and obviously we tweaked the system a little bit, and Pearcey came into that having not played in quite a while, and we got the clean sheet, so I was really pleased for him, and well, for everyone really, but that back unit especially. He's been out a long time, Pearcey with injury, then he had the illness that obviously set him back, and then he's had to bide his time because the boys in his position were obviously playing really well, but with Riley leaving, obviously that meant that we had to sort of juggle the pack a little bit and find another way of doing it. Pearcey came in, was ready, kept himself prepared, trained really hard, and was obviously ready to step in, and that's what all these boys that are, find themselves not in the team for whatever reason, they need to be ready to come back in and perform like he did when asked.
So at Bradford City tomorrow, of course, we ran them close the last time. Looking to see perhaps there's going to be a few battles, reacquainted out there on the pitch tomorrow, I should think. Yeah,
well, I think they ran us close, to be honest, because I felt like we went up there and took the game to them and was the dominant team, and I felt like we didn't come away that day with what we deserved. I felt like we deserved all 3 points, but obviously they pegged us back at the end there, and they made some changes during that game, brought on some big hitters from the bench that are now find themselves in their team quite regularly. So I think that was the difference on the day that helped them probably get a point that perhaps didn't quite merit. But it was a good game. It was really closely contested. We went up and at them that day, and that was on the back of being on a poor run. We go into this in decent nick on the back of a good run of form. I think 1 defeat in 11-12 now in the league, so we're in good shape. We're hard to beat, but so are they. So got a lot of good players that can hurt you. Obviously they've changed the way that they play a little bit since that first game. As far as formation style has changed a little bit, and obviously new personnel as well. So it'll be a different game, but we're at home. We want to get up and at them. There's lots of ways that we feel like we can hurt them. They've got good players, like I said, and they'll have their eye on ways that they can expose us as well. So it's obviously who's going to get the better of that, that conundrum there. But we always fancy ourselves at home, and we'll be going into it with a positive mind frame and trying to take all 3 points.
And a really big crowd expected as well. The fans can make a big difference for us tomorrow, can't they?
As always, yeah. The way they get behind us home and away has been unbelievable, to be honest. But it's always nice being back at Plough Lane. Obviously, support we get there, we want to put on a show for them, and Bradford obviously being a massive club themselves, they're going to bring a big following, which always adds to the atmosphere, doesn't it? So we need to start the game right, get the fans well on side, and just show energy about us, and really try and have that front foot mentality, and the crowd, as always, will get behind that and hopefully give them something to cheer.
Absolutely. Johnny, best of luck.
Cheers, Rob.